Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to high school football. Tonight's ball game comes to you from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Out there, as we scan 495, we're just away here from 495. This is Mark Carboneau with you on Channel 15, and we've got Ernie Sule on the camera. And tonight's ball game features the Rutland High Red Raiders, and they're being hosted by the Lawrence, Massachusetts High School Lancers. So it's the Lancers and the Raiders tonight. And the Raiders, after a little bit of a delay, they had some bus problems there going up Route 4, and they were able to catch another bus, and they finally made it down here in plenty of time for tonight's ball game. The Raiders coming in under Coach Mike Norman with a record of 3-2, and the Lancers coming into this ball game with a record of 1-2. The Raiders here coming off an impressive victory over Burlington High last week, 30-20 up at Alumni Field. And this one here is a little bit out of their league, getting out of their league for 1 week, and they'll be back in Middlebury next Friday night. Should be an interesting matchup. The Lancers were affiliated with the Merrimack Valley Conference, but they've since gone to the independent status. And like I say, they're coming into this game with a record of 1-2, and it's homecoming here. And Ernie's, I'm sure, picking up the cheerleaders and the homecoming queen here as they make their way into the stadium. And this is the Veterans Stadium here. We're not at the high school. This is a separate facility down here in Lawrence, Mass. But it's homecoming here tonight for the Lancers. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the starting lineups. Okay, we're back here at Lawrence, Mass, and it's the ball game between the Rutland High Red Raiders and the Lawrence Lancers tonight. Mark Carboneau along with Ernie Sule here for Channel 15, and we're going to give you the starting lineup. Starting at at the split end, number 8, Chris Mayhew. This is for the Red Raiders. Number 17, Pat Dwyer at quarterback. Number 18, Dave Paller, the tight end. Number 20, Joe Duval, the wingback. Number 23, Jacob Conway, the fullback. Number 46, Mike Stempek, the tailback. Number 51, Chad Galliano, the tackle. Number 54, Greg Barajiklian. Number 55, Chris DePuy. Number 62, Marty Kersell. Number 77, John Lynn, the tackle. And we're going to listen to the national anthem. We'll give you the Lawrence High School lineup right after that. All right, we're here at Lawrence High School tonight for a game between the Raiders and the Lancers. And we're going to give you the lineup here for the Lawrence Lancers here. We ran through the Raider lineup. That quarterback starting for Lawrence, number 11, Luis Cruz. Number 23 is the left end, Noel Hernandez. Number 28 is Ramon Coseta. Number 39 is Kasan Heber. Number 45 is Jose Melendez. He's the right end. The center is number 54, Steve Analdo. Number 56 is Brian Perret. He's the guard. Number 61 is Pedro Pina, right tackle. The other guard is number 62, Dario Collado. And number 76 is the left tackle, and that's Jeff Solomon. The Lawrence football squad here is coached by Larry Roosh. And, of course, the Raiders coached by Mike Norman. The Raiders going out of the Division I ranks in Southern Vermont football this week and playing here at Lawrence, Mass. And they'll be back in action, like I said earlier, against the Middlebury Tigers. We've got the meeting of the captains out there at midfield, and the 4 captains. We can give them to you here for the Raiders. Number 21, that's Dana Atwood, Jacob Conway, Mike Stempek, and Greg Berejiklian.
And Mike Stempek. Captain for the Lancers, number 29, Vic Gutierrez, and number 34, Elvis Campos.
For the Lancers there, number 29, he's
at halftime of today's game,
Victor Gutierrez, and number 34, that's Elvis Campos. So the meeting of the captains at midfield, and we're going to be ready for action. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, back at Lawrence High School here tonight for the game between the Raiders and the Lancers, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Ernie Sule and yours truly here. Mark Carboneau doing this for Channel 15. It's not a bad night down here. There was a little drizzle here just a few minutes ago.
Field judge Steve Smalley and the linesman Jeff January.
We're going to have to compete with the public address announcer here tonight, but we'll do our best. I know what it's like to have a loud voice there over the PA system. Okay, Ernie. Yeah, right. The Raiders going tonight, got a couple of injuries there. Aaron Carboneau with the dislocated index finger. He'll be missing tonight's action. And also John Watson still hampered with that ankle injury he sustained down in the Mount Anthony game. But hopefully the boys will be back in action next week against the Tigers for an all-important game. Back to receive for the Raiders. And let's see, this looks like number 24 there. Looks like Jobin Feinberg. And Dana Atwood, number 21, also down there. Feinberg will do the will have the punting action tonight for the Raiders due to the Carboneau injury. So we're ready for action here from Lawrence, Mass. Doesn't look like to be too bad a night for football. Temperature in the 50s. And we're underway. The ball is taken by Feinberg. He's at his own 10. He's up to about the 27-yard line. So Jobin Feinberg returns for the Raiders, and they'll go to work 1st and 10 here against the Lawrence High Lancers.
Brought down by Victor Gutierrez.
Gutierrez on the stop there for the Lancers. So the Raiders go to work 1st and 10, and Pat Dwyer will be doing the signal calling here for the Raiders. They've got Mayhew split wide right. In the backfield there is the lone setback, Jake Conway. Got a couple of, the pitch goes to Conway on that right side, and he's going to be cut down. He's dropped back for a loss.
Brought down by Nolasco Corderiel.
Corrado there on the stop for the Raiders, or for the Lancers, I should say. No gain on, actually he lost a couple back to about the 25. So the Raiders will have it.
Down and 12 for the Raiders.
2nd and 12 here.
4-yard line.
We'll call it to 24. Got a couple of wideouts here. That's Duval in motion. And Dwyer tried to hit Duval, and it's incomplete. So
Dwyer's pass to Duval is incomplete. 3rd down and 12 for the Raiders.
So the Raiders looking at a 3rd down and 12 yards to go here, and checking in. Well, I tell you, we've got a great vantage point here, Ernie, up top. You can see just about everything up here. It's nice and clear. Yeah. Jack Huey would love this spot, I'll tell you. Dwyer barks him out now. It's 3rd and 12 for the Raiders. Duval is in motion. The handoff, and meant right in the backfield there. Let's see, looked like Stempek on the carry.
Stempek on the carry, brought down by Johnny Burgos. Brings up a 4th down.
So that'll bring up a 4th down for the Raiders. And nothing doing on their first series of downs. And let's see who's... Jobin Feinberg here will come in to punt it away for the Red Raiders. Back to receive the punt. Let's see, they're turned sideways there. Number 32, that's going to be Benjamin Colon. And it looks like number 30 back there also. No, we don't have a 30. The kick is away, and it's going to roll just about the 50-yard line. So Lawrence High will take over here, 1st and 10, right at midfield.
On the Lancer 49.5-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Lancers.
1st and 10 for Lawrence here. They'll go to work against the tough Raider defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, Massachusetts General Law 148, Section 22 prohibits smoking in all high school athletic events.
Louise Cruz, the quarterback there, leading the Lancers out. And he'll go to work 1st and 10 now for the Lancers. A ball just about the 50-yard line. At the full house backfield. And the carry looks like number...
Raphael Guzman, the carry.
Guzman.
Down by Sargent and Atwood.
Raphael Guzman, the running back, one of the running backs for the Lancers. Pretty good gain on the play. Picked up about 5 yards, so it'll be a 2nd down and 5 for
the
Lancers.
From the Rutland 44.5-yard line.
Lancers in Rutland territory here. 2nd and 5. They show the full house backfield again. There's Cruz, the pitch, and he slipped going down there. Not much of a, actually lost on the, they lost a couple yards on the play.
Brought down by Jacob Conway.
Cruz is the workhorse here for the Lancers. So this will bring up a 3rd down. I'd say close to 7. 3rd down and 7 here for Lawrence. Friday night football here on Channel 15, coming to you tonight from Lawrence, Massachusetts. It's the Red Raiders and the Lancers. Cruz over the center. And inside handoff, nothing doing there. The Raiders.
And the carry brought down by Greg
Barajeklian makes the stop, and Posada was the ball carrier. So the Lancers will have to kick it away here. 4th down. And 7 to go. Back deep for the Raiders. Looks like number 11, Billy Moran, and number 46, Mike Stempak. The Raider defense rose to the occasion once again. So they'll get the ball back again. There's the boot, and it's off the side of the foot there. It's going to go out of bounds. Looked like about the Raider 35-yard line. Just about. So the Raiders will go to work. 1st and 10 at their own 35.
Punch is out of bounds on the Rutland 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. The Lawrence High Athletic Department requests that fans on the home side of the field please sit in the designated areas.
Not too bad a crowd down here, but we were talking with the AD, and they said years ago they was nothing to pack this place. 20,000 people in this stadium down here. Beautiful place for football. Dwyer barks him out. The hand off to Stempak, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Back to about the Raider 25. Actually got a good spot there. The crew here, the Massachusetts officials down there calling tonight's ball game, and they give them the ball actually spotted at about the
2nd down and
28-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and about 18 yards to go. Mayhew is wide right. Got a man in motion. That's Duval. The handoff goes to Conway. And Jacob Conway carrying people on his back. Pretty run by Conway, and he gets the ball up over 40-yard line.
Wrestled down by Pedro Pena.
Pena on the stop for Lawrence, and the Raiders, they get half of that yardage back, so they're looking about be a 3rd down and about, well, actually it was a better run than that. 3rd and about 4 yards. That'll help if I look at that score. I got my eyes focused on the field there, Ernie. Thanks for pointing that out for me. They got Mayhew now. He's split wide left. And we've got Duval in motion. Hand off to Conway. And Jake Conway looks like he picked up another 1st down here for the Raiders. 5:44 left. First quarter action here as we look out over the
Conway on the carry.
field here, and in the background, 495.
First down and 10 for the Raiders.
First and 10 for the Rutland High Red Raiders. And Conway seems to be the workhorse here this early juncture in the ball game. The Raiders doing the job on the ground. Got a fresh 4 downs to work with now. Pat Dwyer barks them out. There's Duval in motion. They've got a wide out here is Seth Bailey, or Aaron Bailey, number 42.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the Raiders.
The Raiders pick up their own fumble.
Second down and 15 for the Raiders.
So that'll bring up a second down and about 15 to go. And the ball resting on the Raider 40-yard line. We're at the 5-minute mark. First quarter action here from Lawrence, Massachusetts tonight. Chris Dupuis leads them out of the huddle there at center. Dwyer barks him out. He's got Mayhew split wide left. He's got a man in motion. That's Duval. Stempeck and Conway in the backfield. Give goes to Stempeck, and Mike brings it up close to the 45-yard line. So he got a little bit of that yardage back. That'll bring up a third down and 10 to go for the Raiders. 4:25 left. First quarter action.
Brought down by Elvis Campos.
Elvis Campos on the stop for the Lancers.
Third down and 11 for the Raiders.
Mayhew comes left, or wide left, and they've got a wingback in there, also Stempeck, and now here's Dwyer rolling out. He's got somebody down there, and it's broken up.
Dwyer's pass.
That was picked off.
Victor Gutierrez. First down, 10
Victor
for the
Gutierrez picks it off for the Lancers.
49-yard line.
So Lawrence will take over here, first and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Dwyer had a couple of men open down there, and Gutierrez picks it off. So with 3:55 left in the first quarter, Lawrence High goes back to work on the offense. The Lancers coming into tonight's ball game with a record of 1-2. They play in the Division II here in the state of Massachusetts. Cruz at the quarterback position. And there's a handoff, and it's got into Raider territory. He's up into over the 45 and close to the 40-yard line. That's Guzman on the carry, and the stop made by Moran for the Raiders. So Guzman is the workhorse here for the Lancers this year.
Second and 3 for the Lancers.
Pretty good breeze down here tonight. So it'll be a second down and 3 to go here for Lawrence. And off, there's wow, look at this. Finally taken down by Moran.
Rafael Guzman on the carry.
Guzman again on the carry.
First down for the Lancers.
And Moran makes the stop for Rutland.
Rutland, 33-yard
But not after Guzman picks up the first down. So it'll be a first and 10. Lawrence has the ball inside the Raider 30-yard line, just about the 27. With 3:09 left. First quarter action here. Coming to you from Veterans Stadium here in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Lewis Cruz at quarterback. And the give is Guzman again, but this time the Raiders stop him just short of the 35-yard line, or actually the 25-yard line.
Rafael Guzman on the carry.
Like Conway.
By Ken Kuchar.
Ken Kuchar also in on the stop for the Raiders.
7 for the Lancers.
So it'll be a second down and 7 here. The ball just about at the 26-yard line of Rutland. 2:30 left in the first quarter of play. Cruz barks him out. And he's dropping back. He's firing down the middle, and there's nobody there except for a couple of Raiders. And let's see. Johnny Haynes almost came up with it. Closest one to the ball. So that'll bring up a third down now for Lawrence. Cruz wanted to go down the middle there. Nobody there, just a couple of Raiders. Haynes closest one to the ball. 3rd and 7 now, and the ball resting at the 26-yard line of Rutland. 2:06 left in the first quarter of action here. He's got a man in motion here. That Cruz goes back. Now he steps up, and he's got some running room across the 20 into the 15, the 10. And he's finally brought down short of the 5-yard line.
Brought down by Mike Stempick.
Stempick on the stop for the Raiders, so it'll be a first down for the Lancers.
Rutland 7-yard line.
And the ball just about the 7-yard line of the Raiders. It'll be a 1st and goal. 1:59 left in the first quarter of action. The clock is running. Yeah, it did look like a design play, definitely. Cruz hands it off to, it's got to be Guzman, and there's a host of Raiders bringing them down.
Rafael Guzman on the carry, brought down by Jason Schmidt.
Guzman on the carry, and Jason Schmidt making the stop for the Raiders. So it'll be a 2nd and goal. The ball 5-yard line.
Rebecca Melnick.
And as we look across the way, a few of the Raiders faithful made the 3-hour trip down here to Lawrence. 2nd down and ball on the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Lancers now. Raiders doing a little stunning there on the line. Guzman, he's going to go in standing up. So touchdown for Lawrence High, and Guzman carries him into the end zone. So with 1:03 left here in the first quarter, the Lancers draw first blood, and they put 6 up on the board. And basically that was Guzman doing the bulwark out there. Cruz had to carry himself to help his own effort, and now we'll have the extra point attempt. And Guzman's going to attempt the extra point. Cruz will hold. Snap is down, and the kick is good.
Extra point.
So with 1:03 left in the first quarter, they come back up the field. It's Lawrence High 7 and the Red Raiders nothing. We'll be back right after this short break. Hey, back at Lawrence, Massachusetts here, Lawrence Veterans Stadium, and the Lancers have gotten on the board first. They're up 7-0 here. 1:03 left in the first quarter, and they'll be kicking back to the Raiders. Feinberg and Atwood back deep for the Rutland High Red Raiders tonight. The Raiders had the ball, had a pretty good drive going, and then were intercepted there on their second possession of the ball game. And the Lancers took over, drove down. They started their drive at about the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line, and some nifty running by Cruz and Guzman. And Guzman going into the end zone from about 4 yards out. And that's where we stand at this point, 7-0. There's the kick, and Feinberg's going to take it for the Raiders. He's at the 12-yard line. He's up to the 30, and he fights his way over the 30-yard line up to about, let's call it the 32.
Feinberg is brought down by Mike Iasola and Roberto Pena.
That's a nice run back by Jobin Feinberg. So the Raiders will go to work. 1st and 10 here at their own 32-yard line. 56 seconds left, first quarter of action.
First down and 10 for the Raiders from their own 31-yard line.
And they've got a wide out to the right. That's Duval, and Mayhew is on the left side here. The give is to Conway, and Jake Conway gets the ball up over the 35-yard line.
Carry brought down by Vic Gutierrez.
Gutierrez on the stop for Lawrence, and it brings up a 2nd down and about 8. 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. And Chris Dupuis now heads him out. Let's see here. Either a timeout or they called it. Okay.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter.
And Lawrence 7, Rutland 0.
Lawrence High here on top, 7-0. I wasn't quite sure because they had 27 seconds left on the clock down there, but we won't argue with the officials. So we'll take a short break and be right back. All right, back at Lawrence High School here, and it's the second quarter of action, just about ready to get underway. The Raiders trail in this one, 7-0. The Lancers scoring just about a minute or so left in the third quarter, or the first quarter, and the Raiders have it 1st and 10 here. They'll go to work. Dwyer, and the pitch goes back to Stempeck, and Mike gets it up close to the 40-yard line. Brought down there by, let's see, looks like 24. It's Polanco, Mario Polanco on the stop for Lawrence, and also Gutierrez in there to help out. 9:38 left in the second quarter of play, and the Raiders will go to work with a 3rd down and about 3. Going out is Duval coming into the ball game. Let's see who they're going to have here at the wideout. That looks like Aaron Bailey, number 42. He's split wide left. And everybody's in, they got a wing now in motion. That looks like, there's Atwood now, and the handoff is going to go to, let's see, Jake Conway on the carry for the Raiders. He's going to have, it looks like he's got a 1st down there, Ernie.
Conway on the carry, brought down by...
All right, first and 10. The Raiders will keep the drive going here with 9:01 left in the second quarter of action.
For the Raiders.
So, what's that? Maybe 9:01. We're not sure. We're at least 27 seconds off the time. Chris Dupuy over the center now, over the ball, and Pat Dwyer going to work here. They got a fresh 4 downs to work with. Ball is just about the 40-yard line. They've got Atwood in motion. The give goes to Stempeck, and he's meant Mike coming over the 40-yard line. He's up to about the 43, we'll call it. So Stempeck on the carry for the Raiders.
On the carry, brought down by Jeff Solomon.
Solomon on the stop for Lawrence, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and about 9. The Raiders traveling to the Bay State tonight here to take on the Lancers down here at Lawrence, and so far the rain has held off. We had a little bit of rain coming down with the getting down here, but so far not too bad. Dwyer now, handoff goes to Stempeck, and he gets the ball up close to the 45. We'll call it the 46-yard line of Lawrence.
Stempeck on the carry, brought down by Scholar of the Week, Edwin Alvarez.
The Raiders now looking at a 3rd down and 7, so you would think it would be an obvious passing down, but
3rd down and
big play here coming up for the Raiders. Keep the drive going. Dupuy leads them out of the huddle. Dwyer barks them out. We've got a wide out here. Aaron Bailey over on the wide right, and we got a man in motion. That's Duval. Dwyer rolls out. He wanted to hit Duval, and incomplete. There to stop him.
Broken up by Fingers Polanco.
Mario Polanco. So the Raiders faced with a 4th down here, 4th and 7, and Jobin Feinberg will come in to do the punting. I mentioned earlier a couple of injuries for the Raiders. Johnny Watson there still nursing one, and also Aaron Carboneau out tonight. So back is Feinberg to do the punting, and I'm not sure the numbers there for Lawrence. Back to receive Benjamin Colon. And number 20, that's their workhorse. That's Rafael Guzman. There's the kick by Feinberg, and it's end over end. And it's going to be picked up. Guzman picks it up and gets it back to about the 35-yard line of Lawrence.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by John Haynes.
Johnny Haynes on the stop for the Raiders. And we've got a, is there a flag down? Okay. Call looks to be going against Lawrence, and wow, they're going to mark this one. It's a big one. It's going to drop the ball back to about their own 18-yard line. We're not sure what the call was.
The call is blocking below the waist against the Lancers.
Blocking below the waist was the call by the official.
From their own 19-yard line.
So the Lancers will go to work here with 7:23 left in the second quarter.
We'll be introducing the 1995
1st and 10.
Queen and her court.
Here at Lawrence, Mass, it's homecoming night for the Lancers. Veterans Stadium reminds me of Philadelphia. All right, the Lancers will go to work 1st and 10. The ball on their own 19-yard line. And Cruz, the quarterback. They got a man in motion. And a give goes to Guzman. He's up over the 25 and make it
Guzman on the carry.
About the 27-yard line.
Brought down by Conway and Haynes.
Conway and Haynes on the stop for the Raiders. And it'll be a 2nd down and 8 yards to go here for the Lancers. It's got to be less than 2nd and 8, isn't it? Yeah, that's what. That's a short 8 yards. Got a man in motion to give, and it looks like Guzman on the carry there.
Rafael Guzman on the carry, brought down by Greg Berejiklian.
Berejiklian made the stop for the Raiders. And we got an official timeout. We're going to have a measurement here. 6:28 left in the second quarter here from Lawrence, Mass. And like I mentioned before, the Raiders coming out of their league tonight and to take on the Lawrence Lancers. They'll be back in action next Friday night. A big 3 games coming up for the Raiders to end the season. They've got Middlebury up at Middlebury next Friday night. The week after, they're at home against the Essex Hornets. And the week after that, the following Saturday, they'll be traveling to St. Peter's Field for their crosstown rivalry with the Mounties. The Raiders at 3-2 on the season at this point. We've got a 3rd down and about 1 now. The ball on the Lawrence 29-yard line. 1-2. The Lancers are 1-2. I tell you, good thing Ernie's here because he's full of information tonight. Here, I tell you, it helps to have a cameraman that give you some feedback here. Big play here for Lawrence, and wow, now they call timeout. That was
timeout. Lancers.
That was interesting, Ernie, because the Raiders jumped. It looked like they were offsides, but there was no contact made. So I guess in Massachusetts, unless you make contact, they don't consider that neutral zone. In Vermont high school football, that would be the neutral zone. You step into there. No flag on the play. We'll take a short break after, let's see, 6:11 left in the second quarter, and the Raiders down 7-0. All right, we're back here at Lawrence High. It's 3rd down and 1 for the Lancers. And now Lawrence jumps off sides. They're going to call that one now. See, that's interesting there. Now they make contact. The play before that, the Raiders were drawn into that neutral zone, but there was no flag thrown.
Flag in the play. The call is offside. Lawrence.
So that's going to drop the Lancers back. And let's see, 3rd and about 6 now. That's a 5-yard penalty. The ball was at their 29. They're back at their own 23-yard line. 3rd and 5 now. 6:11 left, second quarter action. Primarily a running game tonight used by Lawrence. I believe they've attempted 1 pass, and that's been about it. Here's Guzman. He's the workhorse, and this time the Raiders shut him down. Good defense there by the Raiders.
Guzman brought down by Mitchell Morgan.
Mitch Morgan on the stop for the Raiders. So a big stop there by the Raiders. Mitch Morgan coming up with the big play. And it'll be a 4th and about 9 now for the Raiders, or for the Lancers, excuse me. Back deep for the Raiders. That looks like Stempek, and also looks like Billy Moran. So Mike Stempek and Billy Moran back to receive the punt. 5:35 left. There's the snap, and a kick is a good one. It's taken by Stempek, loses the handle, but Moran picks it up. Billy Moran at the 40, the 30, 45, and he's just about, and we got a flag down on the play.
There is a flag on the play.
So Moran runs it back just short of the 50, and we've got a flag down on the play. Now this could go either way here, Ernie. Maybe a holding against the Raiders, and that's just what it is.
Call is illegal, block in the back.
Okay, my mistake. That's what I thought. It looked like a holding call. Okay. It'll be a first and 10 for the Raiders, but not after they push themselves back a little bit there. So they'll take over the ball on their own 36-yard line. They'll go to work. 5:21 left, second quarter. The Raiders down 7-0 here to Lawrence, Mass. Pat Dwyer barks him out. He's got Duval in motion. Dwyer's looking for a little shovel pass, and it goes to Conway. Still on his feet at the 50, 45, and he's shoved out of bounds. Pretty play by the Raiders. Dwyer to Conway with the shovel pass. And he's knocked out of bounds just about the, we'll call it, well, he's in Lawrence territory, about the 46, 47-yard line. 5:11 left, second quarter. The Raiders here put together a good drive, and they could tie things up here before halftime. Chris Dupuis leads them out here. He'll be the center. We've got Pat Dwyer at quarterback. Got a wide out here. Chris Mayhew, wide right. Atwood is at the wingback. No, that's Feinberg at the wingback, and the pitch goes to Feinberg. He's got some running room. He's over, and a nice play by Feinberg. Picks up a first down close to the Lawrence 30-yard line.
Feinberg on the carry, brought down by Amin Jimenez.
So Jobin Feinberg on the carry. 5:03 left, second quarter. Pretty play here. A couple of nice plays by the Raiders. The shovel pass that went from Dwyer to Conway, and now Jobin Feinberg on the carry for the Raiders. 4:56 left, second quarter of action, and the Raiders are driving. Dwyer at the helm here. He's got Stempeck and Conway in the backfield. We got a man in motion. That's Duval. And the give is Dwyer's going to take it himself, still on his feet. Finally brought down by a host of Lancers, but he gets the ball up into the, well, let's see, it's pretty close to that 25-yard line.
Down by Ray Guillermo.
4:24 left, and second quarter of action. Dwyer on the carry, and it'll be a second down and about 5 to go here.
For the Raiders.
Mayhew is out, and Dave Paller is in now for the Raiders. Dupuis brings it up over the it's up over the ball now. Dwyer at the quarterback. He's got the two backs, Stempeck and Conway in there. Duval in motion. And off to Conway, and he's got some running room down there, and he gets it close to the 15-yard line.
Jacob Conway on the
huge hole down there, Ernie.
Elvis Campos.
Campos on the stop, but not after Conway runs off a chunk of real estate down there. 3:50 left in the second quarter, and that was a huge hole. Could have driven your truck right through there. And we got a little bit of rain, a little bit of precipitation coming down. It's kind of a fine, kind of a mist there, like a drizzle. And the Raiders driving with 3:36 left. Second quarter action. Duval in motion now. And the handoff to Conway. He's up close to the 10 now.
Conway on the carry, brought down by Brian Pereira.
So they're using, the Raiders using Conway, and the Lancers going with their big gun, Guzman. Both teams sticking primarily on the ground tonight. Second down and about 5 for the Raiders.
From the 10-yard line.
A lot of traffic out there on 495. Columbus Day weekend, I guess. This is Dwyer now. Gives it to Conway. Still on his feet. Finally brought down by a host of Lancers. He got Conway close to the 8-yard line.
By Pereira, Campos, and Gutierrez.
Campos and Gutierrez on the stop. Conway picks up a couple of more.
2.
So, definitely, they're in 4-down territory. We're looking at 3rd down and 2. We've got 2:35 left in the second quarter here. It's been a good quarter of football from Lawrence, Massachusetts tonight, home of the Lancers. It's the Raiders and the Lancers. 3rd and 2 now. Dwyer barks them out. Stempeck and Conway. Duval in motion. And the give goes to Stempeck. Try to go off that right side.
Mike Stepik on the carry, brought down by Elvis Campos.
Campos on the stop for the Lancers, and it'll be
Fourth down.
4th down and about 2.
Timeout, Rutland.
Raiders will take a timeout, and we'll take one also. All right, back at Lawrence, Mass. Here, the game between the Raiders and the Lancers. The Raiders putting together a drive, and with 2:01 left in the second quarter, they trail 7-0. But they've got the ball at the Lancers' 7-yard line. They're faced with a 4th down and 2. They've used Conway and Stempek on this drive here, and Feinberg also. There's the drive, and it's in for a touchdown. Touchdown Raiders, and Mike Stempek does the job for the Raiders. I was just talking to Ernie. I figured they should go to the left side because Conway had a big opening there on the left side. They fooled me, and they went to the right side. They give the ball to Stempek, and Mike drives it in for the Raiders on a 4th and 2. Big play. The Raiders come through. 1:57 left here in the second quarter action, and Conway will attempt the extra point. Billy Moran, the holder. Kick is down, and the snap is down. The kick is good. All right. Keep us in suspense here. So at 1:57 left in the second quarter, the Raiders 7 and the Lancers 7. We'll be back. Lawrence, Mass. here tonight. The game between the Lawrence High Lancers and the Rutland High Red Raiders. And the Raiders have just put together a scoring drive. 1:57 left, and they're switching the fields here. They lined up the opposite position, so they're going to switch around here. We're in the second quarter. The Raiders were forced with they were faced actually with a 4th down and 2, and the give was to Stempek, took the ball off the right side and went in standing up. So the Raiders have tied things up here, 7-7. I tell you that the big play though had to go back to Feinberg. Jobin Feinberg had a nice run, Ernie, earlier in that drive. Took it to the left side, and also the play by Conway, the big hole, right? Your truck would have fit through there, no problem. And that's a short bed too. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Hey, we call it like it is. So the Raiders right back in the ball game here. 7-7, 1:57 left here in the second quarter of play, and ready to boot the ball here will be Jake Conway. And Conway dribbles it around the ground. It's picked. Well, it's touched there by a Lawrence player, bobbled by another. Finally picked up, and he's nailed there. Let's see who the Raider was. Looked like Matt Daly there.
By Bill McGarry.
No, Joe McGarry picked. Joe McGarry made the stop for the Raiders. So McGarry makes the stop, and the Lancers will go to work here. 1:54 left in the second quarter. And Cruz will come running on the field. He's the Lancer quarterback. It's been the Cruz and the Guzman show here. Oh God, there probably is. No, that may be the only Guzman there. So they go to work. They've got 1:54 left in the quarter. 7-7, all tied up here. They got a man in motion. Cruz parks him out, and he gives it to Guzman again. Look out, he's got some room. He's up to the 40, and that's where they're going to bring him down. So there's the workhorse again for the Lancers.
Rafael Guzman on the carry.
Rafael Guzman.
Valley.
And the Raiders finally pull him down there right around the 40-yard line. I'm not quite sure who the Raider player was that brought him down. Seth Bailey, okay. We got a spotter up here helping us out. Made the trip with us, and got a man in motion now. We're looking at a 1st and 10. The Lancers, and the give. It's got to be Guzman. Let's see. Look, they're going to call a timeout here.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Bill Sargent.
Billy Sargent on the stop for the Raiders.
Lawrence.
The Lawrence Lancers going to take a timeout here. 1:30 left. They'll take one. We'll take one. We're back at Lawrence, Mass, and the Lancers here faced with a 2nd down and 9. There's 1:30 left in the second quarter. Mark Carboneau here to do the play-by-play. Ernie Sule on the camera. And Mrs. C here on the left-hand side here doing some spotting tonight for us. Lawrence now got a man in motion. Cruz, the quarterback, flips it back to Guzman. He's the workhorse. He's got some running room here. And he gets the ball up over the 50. He's in the Raider territory.
Carry brought down by Bill Sargent.
Billy Sargent on the stop. Looked like Conway, the last man getting off the ground there, also in there. So it'll be first and 10 for the Lancers. And the ball at the Raider 47-yard line. Ken Kuchar coming out of the ball game for the Raiders. First and 10, the Lancers go to work with 1:09 left. Second quarter action here from Lawrence, Mass. This is Cruz parking them out. And let's see, fakes the handoff. He takes it himself around the right side. He's got plenty of room. Johnny Haynes, the last Raider, finally trips him up. And
Cruz brought down by...
well, you know that was a design play there. He faked everybody out.
Timeout.
Fake to the left, took the ball to the right side, and Johnny Haynes finally making the stop on the quarterback, Louis Cruz, for the Lancers. They'll call a timeout, and we'll take one. All right, back at Lawrence here. It's the Raiders and the Lancers are putting together a drive. The Raiders came back. They were down 7-0, put together a nice drive, got back in the ball game here in the with about a minute and some odd seconds left in the second quarter, and now the Lancers have worked the clock here. They've taken their second timeout. They got a first and 10 on the Raider 27. Got a man in motion. Cruz, hand off to Guzman. He's close to the 20-yard line. I tell you, it's been the Cruz and the Cruz and Guzman show tonight. Atwood on a stop for the Raiders. Now they call another timeout. All right, so there's another timeout, and we'll be right back at Lawrence. 46 seconds left, second quarter, and the Lancers have the ball at the Raider 20-yard line. Cruz dropping back to pass, and stepping up to make a nice play defensively was Bill Moran for the Raiders. I'll tell you, he saved a touchdown right there. The other thing, Ernie, if he makes the interception, there's no blue shirts in front of him. He's got clear sailing all the way down. Nice defensive play by Moran, so it sets up a third down. And about 3 yards, is that 3? Third and 3 is what they show here. 21-yard line, that's where the ball is. It's in Raider territory, and there's 42 seconds left in the second quarter. Cruz parks him out. Pitch goes to Guzman, coming around that left side. There's a wicked block there, and he's going to get the 6 points. I don't know about it looked like it might have been a clip. Maybe not. Like Conway went down just before Guzman went into the end zone. He got a wicked block, though. And Guzman takes it in. He's got the Lancers back in front now, 13-7. And he'll attempt the... well, let's see. No, number 29 is going to attempt the extra point for... that's Victor Gutierrez. So Gutierrez will attempt the extra point. Cruz will be the holder. He's the quarterback. 34 seconds left in the second quarter, 13-7. And the snap is down. Let's see. It's good. So with 34 seconds left in the second quarter, it's Lawrence High Lancers 14 and the Rutland High Red Raiders 7. We'll be back in Lawrence, Massachusetts here. It's the home of the Lancers, and the Raiders here visiting down tonight. 14-7 is your score. 34 seconds left in the second quarter of play here. It's been the Guzman show here tonight. I'll tell you, between Cruz and Guzman, they've scored 14 points, and they're out in front in this one. The Raiders with a touchdown by Mike Stempek on a run from 4 yards out. 14-7 is your score, and back deep for the Raiders now. It looks like Jobin Feinberg, and I'm going to say it's either, boy, the way they're, it looks like Atwood. So it's Atwood and Feinberg back to receive the kick. And that's a nice boot. It's going to be taken by Feinberg. He's at about his 12-yard line. Wait a minute, they're going to call him down. And his knee was down. He didn't think so.
Was down when he touched the ball.
I'll tell you, that's too bad. He had a head of steam, and he was, boy, he was up over the 25, close to the 30-yard line. But
14-yard line.
Unfortunately, they're going to call it back, and they'll have the ball just about at their, let's see, 10, they'll call it about the 13-yard line. First and 10 for the Raiders, but they don't have a heck of a lot of time left here. 31 seconds left, second quarter action. It's the Raiders and the Lancers. They've got two wideouts now. That looks like Duval and Mayhew. Dwyer barks him out. The handoff, big hole, and this is Conway, or is it Stempak? No, I think it's Stempak.
Stempak on the carry, brought down
all right.
by Brian Pereira.
I'll tell you that in some spots of the field it's kind of muddy, so their numbers are kind of. So Stempak on the carry. Raiders get the first down. They'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. Back at Lawrence High, and it's 14-7. The Raiders are down. They've got 24 seconds left here in the second quarter. Dwyer barks them out. They've got Mayhew is split righty. Dwyer's looking for somebody to throw it to, and he had a man down there. And
Dwyer's pass broken up by Amin Jimenez.
Broken up by Lawrence. I'm not sure the player was involved down there, but Jimenez made the play. Thanks, Ernie. Dwyer, they were looking for somebody down there. I'm not sure who the receiver was here. It looked like, well, he had Mayhew split wide right. So we're looking at a 2nd and 10 here with 18 seconds left in the second quarter. Boy, that for some reason that clock is running. Now you've got wideouts on both sides. Duval and Mayhew. Dwyer back to pass. A little short one over the middle. This is Conway. And Jake gets up over the 35-yard line, the Raider 35.
Conway on the reception, brought down by
7 seconds left. Jimenez makes a stop for Lawrence. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 10 now. And the Raiders take their final timeout in the first half.
Timeout, Rutland.
We'll be back. Lawrence here. We've got 3rd down and about 8 to go. Actually, it's got to be more like 6. 3rd down and 6. About 2 seconds show on the clock. Second quarter action. And Dwyer barks him out here. We've got Conway in the backfield. And Pat's going to drop back. He's going to fire it long, and he's got a couple of receivers down there, but it's picked off by Lawrence. It's not going to matter.
Intercepted by Brian Pereira.
That'll do it for the first half of action here from Lawrence, Massachusetts. At the halftime, it's the Lancers 14 and the Rutland High Red Raiders 7. We'll be back for second half action. Lawrence, Massachusetts, and we're awaiting the start of the second half. The Raiders are back on the field. The Lancers have not yet come out of the locker room. And not too bad a night out there. The temperature in the 50s. Mark Carboneau here on the play-by-play, and Ernie Sule, the cameraman tonight, made the trip with us. And as we look across the way, we've got a lot of traffic out there on 495. The Raiders trailing here 14-7 to the Lancers. The Lancers punched one in late in the second quarter, and after the Raiders made a nice comeback, they were down 7-0. They came back. They tied it up on a run by Mike Stempak. But Ernie, that whole series was a nice series for the Raiders. They mixed it up nice there with some runs by Feinberg and Conway, and finally Stempak busted in there from 4 yards out. And so actually, the Raiders are still in this ball game. It's a good test for them, though, because they got some tough ball games coming up. So no, they're definitely not outclassed. And of course, Coach Norman thought they wouldn't be over their heads by coming down here. They played a nice ball game so far. I think they've showed that they can. The linemen can make some holes in that line there for the running backs. And
Canadian Football League score. Nova Scotia Sharks.
Here we go.
Yellow Knights, Bumblebees 14.
Canadian football score. They just came across the public address announcer here, but couldn't quite understand who the two teams were. But this stadium here, we were talking to the athletic director down here at Lawrence, and a little bit of history there. Of course, they play in the they have a Thanksgiving Day game, and of course their rivalry down here is Lowell. So it's Lowell and Lawrence here on Thanksgiving Day, and the athletic director said years ago it was nothing to put 20,000 people in this stadium. But of course now with 3 high schools in the city of Lawrence, it kind of draws away from Lawrence High. But a lot of tradition down here from years past, and we can kind of relate it to back home with the Rutland and MSJ rivalry. So I guess no matter where you go, each city or each particular school has their rivalry through the years. The only reason why I know about it is because from reading the Boston Globe on Sunday afternoon. So
Massachusetts General Code 148, Section 20.
But the Raiders down by a touchdown, and 10 minutes here, waiting for the arrival of the Lancers here on the field to get the second half started. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be back for the second half kickoff. All right, we're back at Lawrence, Mass, and ready to start the second half action here. It's the Raiders down to the Lawrence Lancers at this point, 14-7. But I'll tell you, the Raiders have played a tough ball game in this first half, Ernie. And that's what they'll look for here in the second half. They're going to have trouble containing Cruz, the quarterback, and also Guzman there, the running back for the Lancers. They've had trouble containing him all night, but I think any team would have problems with those two players. But the Raiders have responded here with some nice running plays here. They scored that touchdown by Mike Stempeck, but it took some nice running by Feinberg and Conway, and some big holes opened up by that offensive line. So they've done a good job. They trail by 7, and just want to remind the folks that the Raiders will be back in action next Friday night with a big one. They'll be up at Middlebury to tangle with the Tigers, and then in 2 weeks they'll be back home against the Hornets, and they'll close it out with the Mounties on the 28th. And the Raiders at 3-2, and I'll tell you right now, I think they got a pretty good shot of making the playoffs. They play. That's right, exactly. They do control their own destiny. I think they've got a darn good shot of if they play their game, I think they can beat Middlebury, and I also think they can handle Essex and MSJ down the road. But the one thing the kids started to believe in themselves, and it's made all the difference in the world here. And we're going to get ready for the second half kickoff. This is Conway. Jake Conway will be kicking for the Raiders. And back deep, I would almost guess that Guzman is back there for the Lancers. And he receives the second half kickoff, and he runs it back up to about the 32-yard line. We're going to get the number on the Raider who made the stop.
Guzman the carry, brought down by David Collins.
Number 32, David Collins makes the stop for the Raiders. And so it'll be a 1st and 10. That's a new name.
First down and 10 for the Lancers
on
their own 31-yard line.
So Dave Collins, a junior for the Raiders on that return team, makes the stop for the Raiders. And I'll tell you, he did a nice job because he contained Guzman. So the Lancers will go to work 1st and 10. They'll have the ball on their own 31-yard line. Cruz is the quarterback. They come with a full house backfield, but I'll tell you, there's a man in motion. But 9 chances out of 10 the ball is going to be to Guzman, and he gets the ball, and the Raiders stop him. He might have gotten a yard.
On the carry, brought down by Jacob Conway.
Jake Conway on the stop for the Raiders.
Down and 9.
Couple of Mutual Admiration Society there. Conway and Guzman slapping each other on the helmet. A little bit of mutual respect. That's good to see out on the ball field there. 9:23 left, second half action here from Lawrence, Mass. Lancers with a man in motion. There's the pitch back to Guzman, and one Raider had one shot at him, finally taken down. And let's see who made the stop here. Looks like 46, Mike Stempeck. Stempeck on a nice open field tackle. And the Raiders had a shot at him back in the Lancer backfield. 8:53 left now in the third quarter of play. 14-7. The Lancers on top of the Raiders. And not a bad night for football down here. Temperature in the mid-50s. A little bit of a breeze. So the Lancers now with a 3rd and 7. The ball at their own 34-yard line. Coming again with the full house backfield. And this time the give is to Guzman. No. By God, they didn't.
Ramon Casada on the carry.
Number 28 got the carry that time. Ramon Casada. So Casada makes the, with the carry, gets the ball up over the, well, we'll call it just
Lancers.
Looks like about the 39-yard line of Lawrence. So they'll be faced with a 4th and 1. Checking into the ball game for, there's Casada now, number 28. He's going to do the punting now. And back deep for the Raiders is, it looks like Stempek and Moran. So Stempek and Moran back deep for the Redmen. The snap. And the kick is away, and it's going to go off to the right. Going to take a Lawrence bounce. Now it bounces back, and they finally stop it. Lawrence covers the ball just about the 30-yard line.
Guzman's punt is down by Singers Polanco.
So the Raiders will go to work here, 1st and 10, with the ball just over the 30-yard line. 7:37 left.
For this evening's game.
3rd quarter action. So let's see if they can put together another drive, Ernie, like they did in that 2nd quarter. Pat Dwyer will lead them out here. Dwyer, the senior quarterback. Offensive line for the Raiders doing a nice job. They're opening some holes for those backs there. That's Stempek and Conway in the backfield. He's got a Mayhew is split wide right. And this is the give is a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. It looks like Conway made the with the carry.
Conway on the carry, brought down by Campos and Gutierrez.
Campos and Gutierrez on the stop there for Lawrence. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for Rutland now. And the key here, I guess, is to put a good drive together, run some clock off, and get back in the ball game. There's this Feinberg taking it around the corner, and he's close. Looked like I think he got the 1st down.
Joven Feinberg, brought down by Ryan Pereira.
Feinberg, the scat back there for the Raiders. Nifty run, and he's awful close to the 1st down marker here. 6:54 left, 3rd quarter. We're going to call timeout for a measurement. We'll keep it right here, though. This is a big 1st down for the Raiders, Ernie. They keep the drive going. 2nd down. 2nd and 7, and a nice run by Jobin Feinberg, the junior scat back for the Raiders. He got it.
1st down. Rutland.
So Feinberg keeps the drive going for the Raiders. 6:54 left, 3rd quarter. The Raiders down 14-7 here. And we're at Lawrence, Mass. With keep looking over at 495. We gotta go out that way in another hour or so. At any rate, we got some good football here in front of us. 6:43 left, and Dwyer pitches it to Conway, and he muscles his way down close to the 50-yard line. Powerful run by Jake Conway.
Brought down by Amin Jimenez.
Jimenez on the stop for Lawrence. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and close to 2 for the Raiders. 6:20 left, 3rd quarter action. The Raiders putting together a nice drive here thus far. 14-7, Lawrence on top. Dwyer barks him out. He's got Stempek. Now that's Conway and Feinberg, and Dwyer gets it off to Conway out of the backfield. Still on his feet, 30, 25, 20, 15, and he's going to be close to the 10-yard line.
Dwyer's pass caught by Conway. He's brought down.
Nifty
by
play.
Alvarez.
Dwyer to Conway out of the backfield, and that play covered some yardage down to just about the 10-yard line. The Raiders with a nice drive going here. Well, we'll call it the 11. First and 10. Ball at the 11-yard line. 3rd quarter of play, and the Raiders are looking good right now. Chris Dupuis over the ball. He's the center for the Raiders. Dwyer the quarterback.
For the Raiders.
He's got Conway and Feinberg in the backfield. We got a man in motion. That's Duval. Mayhew is split wide right. The fake. And the give is to Conway, and he gets to about the 10. So Jake with a gain.
Carry brought down by Jeffrey Solomon.
Jake with a gain of about a yard.
Down.
And Feinberg out. Stempek is back in. 5:18 left, 3rd quarter. 2nd and about 9 to go. 2nd and just about the 10-yard line there. Dupuy over the ball. Dwyer the quarterback now. We've got a couple of split in. Now we got a man in motion here. That's Duval. Mayhew split wide right. Dwyer pitches back to Stempeck, and he gets it over to 5. Gets it close to the 4 there. Stempeck on the carry.
Gutierrez and Alvarez.
4:44 left, third quarter of action. The Raiders looking to punch one in here. They're 4 yards away from pay dirt. 14-7, the Lawrence High Lancers on top.
Illegal procedure against the Raiders.
Now we got a flag down the play. I didn't see that. It's way over here on the right-hand side, Ernie. Yep.
Penalty has been accepted.
Well, that drops it back. What's that, about the 6th motion?
Second down, 14 for the Raiders.
So it's a motion penalty, which drops the Raiders back to their own, or it's actually to the Lancer 16. So it'll be a second down and about 14 now to go for the Raiders. 4:29, third quarter action. Duval's in motion. And a give. Not sure of that number because Stempeck got the carry.
Elvis Campos.
Stempeck and Conway jerseys are kind of muddied up in the back, so it's kind of tough. They look very similar when they're running. So they pick up 4, or Stempeck picks up 4, and we're looking at a third
for the Raiders.
Third and about 10 now. Ball at the 12-yard line. 3:54 left in the third quarter. We got a timeout. The Raiders call a timeout, and we'll take one here also. Lawrence, Mass. Here it's the Raiders and the Lancers. The Raiders are faced with a 3rd and 10. The ball is at the 12-yard line of Lawrence, and it's 14-7. The Raiders trail in this one. Dwyer with the pitch, and he loses the handle. He gets it back. Conway, and now he wanted to attempt the pass. Let's see what they're going to call it here. Boy, that's a tough break for the Raiders. The pitch went back to Conway. Had a hard time, couldn't find the handle there. Finally, when he did, he was being pressured back. Looked like he wanted to find a receiver down there, but he couldn't. And unfortunately, it cost the Raiders now. They're yeah, that was a good drive. They put together a real nice drive there. Unfortunately, the Lancers will take over here with 3:41 left in the third quarter of play. The Raiders were down here 14-7. And I'll tell you, that's a tough break. Let's see what the Raiders can do here defensively now. Hopefully they'll get the ball back. And to give us, it's got to be Guzman with the carry.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Ken Kuchar.
Kenny Kuchar on a stop there for the Raiders.
Down and 7 for the Lancers.
So the Lancers have a second down and about 7 to go with 3:23 left. Third quarter action. Boy, that's a tough break, though. The Raiders, a nice drive going, and 2nd and 7 now for Lawrence. 3:08 left, third quarter here. And this is Cruz. He gives it to Guzman, and he's still on his feet, awful close to that first down marker. Brings it up. Boy, that's going to be at least a couple yards short. So we're looking at a third down. Third down and about 2 now for Lawrence.
Third down and 2 for the Lancers.
The ball on the 33-yard line of the Lancers. I'll tell you, the Raiders have they've played a good ball game though defensively, even though they're down by a touchdown here. All right, they'll go to work on defense once again here. Third down and 2. Big play here. Got a man in motion. Cruz barks him out. Give us to Guzman. He gets the first down, and he's got more. Still on his feet. Finally wrestled down by Atwood of the Raiders.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Dana Atwood. First down and 10 to go for the
I'll tell you, he's
from their own 41.5-yard line.
A very deceptive runner here. He's got some good speed. I'll tell you, you got to really get your hands on him to bring him down.
The 46.5-yard line.
So the ball at the Lawrence 46-yard line. It's a 1st and 10, and they're using the clock here. That's the other thing we got to keep in mind. 2:01 left, third quarter of action. Cruz barks him out. He's handoff. There's Jimenez with the carry. Now there's a switch. And he picks up the first down. So they went, instead of going with Guzman,
Brought down by
they went with Jimenez. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Quesada. So Quesada gets the carry for Lawrence. And Guzman being the workhorse, they switched it this time to Quesada, and he picks up the first down. 1:44 left here, third quarter of play from Lawrence, Mass. The Raiders down 14-7. Ball on the Lancer 40, or the Raider 43-yard line. They got a man in motion. And they give us to Guzman. Look out, he's dangerous here. He gets close to the first down.
On the carry, brought down by William Moran and Ethan Allen.
Billy Moran on the stop for the Raiders. This is going to be a tough. This will be a tough drive to stop here, Ernie. 1:14 left in the quarter, and so far they've had their way. All right, we've got first and 10, and the ball is. Let's see. We'll call it the. Oh, there's a man in motion to give us to Guzman. He's got some running room, and he's got a couple of Raiders draped around him there. Look like Johnny Haynes in there, and also Jason Schmidt for the Raiders. So Schmidt and Haynes on the stop, and that'll make it a second down and 3. The ball at the Raider 26-yard line. Lawrence here really putting together a drive on, basically on the ground, staying with the run. 22 seconds left, third quarter of action from Lawrence, Mass. The Lancers now, they got a man in motion. It's Cruz to hand off to Guzman, and he's Barajeklian got the first crack at him. So Buda makes the stop for the Raiders. It'll be a second down and 3 yards to go. Tough break for the Raiders there. They had the ball going, they had the drive going, and that's going to do it here for the third quarter of action. So after 3 quarters of play, it's the Lancers 14 and the Rutland High Red Raiders 7.
9 a.m. in room 200.
Back in Lawrence, Mass. It's Mark Carboneau here, play-by-play, and Ernie Sule on the camera. And tonight we're in the Bay State. It's fourth quarter action now, ready to begin. It's the Raiders and the Lancers here, the Lawrence High School Lancers and the Rutland High Red Raiders. The Raiders defensively now 3rd and 2, and the Lancers have the ball. Big play here. They come with a full house backfield. Cruz, the quarterback. And he gives the ball to Guzman. He's, let's see, it's going to be, he's got the first down. He had to shuffle his way ahead there. It looked like they had him in the backfield momentarily, but he uses a second effort to get the first down for the Lancers, so they'll keep the drive going. We've got to go back to that third quarter, though, Ernie, that big penalty. That's a 5-yarder, but it killed the Raiders because they're looking at a 2nd and 2, and they end up getting the procedure call against them. And then, of course, on the next play, they end up turning the ball over on the fumble. So it's it's a game of breaks. And the Lancers now with a 1st and 10. The fake, and Cruz is going to keep it himself. He's at the 15 to 10. Finally wrestled out of bounds there by Johnny Haynes of the Raiders.
Knocked out of bounds by number 31, John Haynes. 1st and goal for the Lancers.
Cruz, I'll tell you, he faked into the line.
4-yard line.
And then he went around the right side. John Haynes made the stop for the Raiders, but not until he got to the 5-yard line. So the Lancers knocking on the door here once again. They're up 14-7 with 9:20 left in the fourth quarter here. Lawrence now coming with the full house backfield again. Cruz is the quarterback. The workhorse tonight has been Guzman, and here he goes again. He's at the 5. He's in for a touchdown.
Lancer touchdown by Rafael Guzman.
So Guzman, the workhorse, gets in again for the Lancers, and they go up now by a score of 20-7. 9:19 left, fourth quarter action here from Lawrence, Mass. Well, it was a big series for the Lancers, and they capitalized and using the ground game and got them right down there, went into pay dirt, and now we'll have the extra point attempt here. Quesada will attempt the extra point. And the Cruz will hold. Snap is a high one, and it's blocked. It is picked up by one of the Lancers upfield, and it'll be no good.
That's a touchdown attempt by Vic Gutierrez.
So as the teams come back up the field, it's the Lancers 20 and the Red Raiders 7. We'll be back. Lawrence, Massachusetts, and with 9:19 left in the fourth quarter, the Raiders find themselves down here 20-7.
Receiving on the south side will be Rutland.
But you know, really, Ernie, the Raiders have not played that badly there. They've a couple of mistakes cost them. They had the fumble that turned the ball over. That penalty hurt them. But actually, other than that, I think they've played a fine football game tonight here.
Goes on to kick for the Lancers.
It's only going to help them in those last 3 league games when they get back into action next week. All right, here's the kickoff by the Lancers. 9:19 left, fourth quarter, and the kick is away. And this one's going to be taken by Feinberg. He's at his own 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And he almost got up to the, well, he's going to be close to that 50-yard line. Feinberg with an excellent run back for the Raiders. And I'll tell you, that was, if nothing else, he's electrifying. The scat back for the Raiders, Feinberg, with a nifty run back, and, well, I don't know, he didn't get that good a spot. I thought he was a little further than that, but...
first down and 10 for the Raiders.
The Raiders will have it first
46
and 10 here. And Chris Dupuis leads them out here. So Feinberg sets up the Raiders in good shape here, field position-wise. 9:09 left, fourth quarter action here. Duval is in motion. He's got Mayhew split wide left to give us to Stempeck. Got a couple of blocks out there, and Stempeck fights his way down to about the 47-yard line.
And Fingers Polanco.
47-yard line, we'll call it, yeah, that's close enough. So they're in Lancer territory. 8:48 left in the contest, 20-7. The Raiders are down here. Second down and about 4. Dupuis now leads them out. He's got Mayhew split wide left. Feinberg is at the wingback position. Conway and Stempeck in the backfield. The pitch. Here's a reverse. And this is Feinberg. He's at the 45 and close to the 40-yard line. That's going to be close to first down, Ernie.
Down by Elvis Campos.
You got, there's the signal.
Raiders.
So the signal is a first down for the Raiders with 8:13 left in the contest. Feinberg on a nifty run. And it keeps the drive going for Rutland here. The Raiders mixing it up a little bit on the runs. We've got Mayhew split wide right now. And on the left side, I'm not sure if that's Atwood or it's... no, that's Duval now. He's in motion. Dwyer drops it back, looking out on the side. It's complete to Duval.
Dwyer's pass complete to Duval.
Joe Duval with the reception. Boy, he didn't get... I don't know if that... did they get back to the line of scrimmage? They've got second down and 10, so I don't know. It was... boy, well, we'll give them a couple. So second down and about 8 now. 7:48 left in the contest. The Raiders trail 20-7 here to Lawrence, Mass. It's the Lancers and the Raiders. Dwyer now. We've got Duval in motion. We've got, there's a little shovel pass. That's the Conway. He's across the 40. And he's close to about the, well, we'll call it the 36. Call it about the 36, 37-yard line there of the Raiders. Or of the Lancers, I should say. They had, see, who was that? That was Aaron Bailey was in there. He was split wide left in there for the Raiders. Mayhew was back in. So we're looking at a 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. 7:15 left in the contest. Mayhew comes out now. He's left, wide left. We got the coach of Lawrence out on the field. He's hollering to his defense. Drops it back. Dwyer's over the middle, and it's complete. Pass was complete to, looked like Dave Paller. So Paller makes the reception. Jimenez makes the stop for Lawrence, and it's a 1st and 10. The Raiders keep the drive going with 6:56 left in the 4th quarter. Dwyer back in here after getting some instructions from the sidelines. Mayhew now split wide right. Duval will be the split in over on the left-hand side. There's a pass in the slant, and let's see. Mayhew was the intended receiver on that right-hand side. 6:36 left in the 4th quarter. So Dwyer to Mayhew, incomplete, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10 now for the Raiders. 6:37 left in the contest. Mike Stempeck goes out, and looks like Jobin Feinberg's in there for the Raiders now. So Conway, the lone back behind Dwyer. Dwyer barks him out. The give is to Feinberg. He's at the 30, 25, and he gets close to about the 23-yard line there. He's knocked out of bounds.
Edwin Alvarez.
So Jobin Feinberg.
And Victor Gutierrez.
It'll bring up a 3rd down now for the Raiders. Gain of about 6. So it's about 3rd and, we'll call it 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Ball at the 23-yard line of Lawrence. Back in now for the Raiders is Stempeck. Feinberg is out. The Raiders trail here 20-7. 4th quarter action with 6:09 left in the contest. Mayhew split wide right. He's got Duval on the left side now in the wingback position. Stempeck and Conway the backs. Duval is in motion. Dwyer's looking to throw. He puts it out there. He's got Duval, and Joe makes the catch and then steps out of bounds to stop the clock. So Joe Duval makes the catch. 5:50 left in the 4th quarter. And that's awful close. Close to a 1st down. They're going to be short a couple yards here. We'll call it 1. 3rd and 1 now. Big play for the Raiders to keep the drive going here. 4th down. Okay, 4th down. They show 3rd on the board. It is 4th down.
4th down and half a yard.
So it's 4th and about half a yard for the Raiders. And they need to convert here to keep the drive going. 5:50 left. Dwyer. Handoff inside. It looks like a 1st down. Let's see who got the carry.
Stempeck on the carry.
Mike Stempeck with the carry for the Raiders. So he picks up a 1st and 10. Jimenez on the stop for Lawrence.
Down. Raiders.
So the Raiders will keep the drive alive here with 5:45 left in the 4th quarter. The Raiders here, Lawrence Mass, and battling the Lancers. The Raiders down 20-7 here at this point. 5:33 left in the contest. Chris Dupuis now leads them out over center. Dwyer the quarterback. They've got Mayhew split wide left. Stempeck and Conway. Duval is in motion. Dwyer going over the middle again. And incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
So he looked like...
2nd down.
Well, I'm not sure who that was down there. Was that Paller? Boy, it's tough to pick up the numbers now. They look like Dave Paller down there, but I guess it's 18. That's Dave Paller. So the incomplete pass, Dwyer to Paller, incomplete, and it's 5:13 now left in the contest. Dwyer barks him out, 2nd and 10. Conway's in motion now. There's the pitch to Stempeck. And Mike gets up close to the 15. Well, I tell you, that Lancer defense now is stiffened up some, Ernie.
Carry brought down by Brian Ferreira.
We're looking at 4:58 left in the contest. 3rd down and about, now let's see, a long 9 here. 3rd down and 9 for the Raiders. The ball at the Lancer 16. 4:46 and the clock is running. The Raiders down 20-7. Stempeck and Conway in the backfield for the Raiders. Dwyer rolls right. Looking downfield, and it's touchdown. Looked like Dave Paller.
Dwyer pass complete to Dave Paller for
Dwyer to Paller for the touchdown, and the Raiders now trail by 7 with 4:26 left in the ball game. Dwyer rolled right, and Dave Paller, he had an opening there, went into the end zone, made the nice catch, and it's Dwyer to Paller for the touchdown. So that was a nice drive by the Raiders, Ernie. Came at a good time. They're right back in the ball game here. 4:26 left. Conway will attempt the extra point. Moran will hold. Kick is up, and it's good. So as both teams come up the field, it's the Lancers 20 and the Red Raiders 14. All right, back at Lawrence, Mass. I'll tell you, if nothing else, this ball game has been entertaining and it's been exciting tonight, Ernie. So it was well worth the trip. 20-14 is the score. 4:26 left in the contest. Mark Carboneau here, along with Ernie Sule on the camera here, Channel 15. And with 4:26 left in the fourth quarter, the Raiders have just scored a Dwyer to Paller pass. It was a pass play, and it put the Raiders right back in the middle of things here, 20-14. And I'll tell you, you know, the penalty hurt them, but they have played a whale of a ball game tonight, just the same. They've made a couple of mistakes, but you take them away, and it's a whole different ball game. There's the kick, and it's fielded by a Lawrence player. I'll tell you, that was a quick kick, and Lawrence will get the ball at their own 30-yard line. The onside kick, Atwood made the stop. The ball went the recommended 10 yards as it should, and it was fielded by a Lawrence player just over the 30-yard line. So Lawrence will go to work, 1st and 10, 4:23 left in the fourth quarter. The Raiders down by 6. It's been Cruz to Guzman tonight for Lawrence. So let's see if that combination continues. Cruz gives it, that's got to be Guzman going into the line. Let's see who comes up off the bottom of the pile there. Jake Conway, Barajeklian in on the stop also. Guzman on the carry. 4:03 left now, fourth quarter. 2nd down and about 8. If the Raiders can put together a defensive stand right here, be able to get the ball back, they might be able to punch one in here with a little bit of time left on the clock. 3:46 and counting. Cruz now, and a give is to, no, he keeps it himself. Well, let's see. Cruz, he had me faked out. I was watching Quesada there, 28, because I thought he had the ball. Cruz on the keeper.
6 for the Lancers.
You followed Quesada. Okay. Well, we lost that play. It's 3rd down and 8. And a gain of about 2 on the play. So the Raiders, the Lancers, 3rd down and boy, that looks like it looks less than 8 yards, but they'll call it 3rd and 8. 3:02 left now. There's a man in motion. That's Quesada for Lawrence. Cruz drops back. Now he decides to run it, and he made it through the hole, but now he's stopped. Big play by the Raiders. We got to get that man.
Brought down by Bill Moran.
Billy Moran. Moran on a stop for the Raiders. Big play there defensively, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 8. And the Raiders here now would...
Timeout, Rutland.
Timeout, Raiders, and we'll take one also. Back at Lawrence, Mass, the Raiders back deep to receive the punt from Guzman now. And they did a nice job defensively there by the Raiders to get the ball back here with 2:46 left in the contest. Guzman will punt, but you know, I'd watch the fake here. He's got the speed. He does get the kick away. And it's going to take a Lawrence bounce. It's going to be dead right around the Raider 32-yard line.
Punt down by number 61, Pedro Pena.
So Pena downs it for Lawrence, and the Raiders will go to work with 2:46 left in the contest. They're down by 6 here, 20-14. 1st and 10. Well, we've seen a few different things as far as the Massachusetts brand of football, Ernie. It's been an interesting ball game and also a very entertaining game tonight. The Raiders down by 6, 2:31 now. The clock is moving. Dwyer barks him out. He's got Duval in motion. Drops it back. He's looking long. He's got Mayhew out there, and I think it's going to be intercepted. The ball was intercepted. We didn't get the number on the defensive man for Lawrence, but at any rate, it's first and 10 for the Lancers, and they'll take the ball over here with 2:23 left. Benjamin Cologne on the interception for Lawrence. So with 2:23 left in the ball game, the Raiders had they went for it, and the pass was Dwyer was going for Chris Mayhew. The pass was intercepted by Cologne for Lawrence. And the Lancers will go to work here, first and 10, with the ball on the Raider 47-yard line. Well, let's see. My guess is, there he is, Guzman, and he draws a host of Raiders. There's Stempek down to help out.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Greg Berejeklian.
And Buddha also, Greg Berejeklian on the stop for the Raiders. But he picks up about 4. Well, we'll give him 6 on the play. We'll call it 5. Second down and 5. And the ball is resting on the Raider 43-yard line. 1:59 left in the contest. It's been an entertaining ball game tonight here in the Bay State. 20-14, the Raiders down by 6, and they played a tough ball game against a very well-coached, a very good Massachusetts team here, Lawrence. And like we were talking earlier, it's only going to make them that much of a better ball club going into those 3 big games when they get back to Vermont and get back into action next week against the Tigers up at Middlebury. And a give is to Guzman. And Guzman finally being brought down by a host of Raiders there. Too numerous to mention, but...
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Kucher.
So with 1:52 left in the contest, it'll be... it's going to be looking like another first... yep, there it is, another first down. So the Lancers will keep the drive going. And we're going to, let's see, going to timeout. The Raiders will take a timeout, and so will we. Back here at Lawrence, Mass, with 1:33 left in the contest. The Raiders down by 6, 20-14. The Lancers have it first and 10 at the Raider 36-yard line. Cruz barks him out. He's got a full house backfield. And there he is, the handoff to Guzman, and he's upended by Jake Conway, and also with some help there by Dan Atwood for the Raiders. So Atwood and Conway combined to pull Guzman down. So now the Raiders call a timeout, and that's going to be their last time. All right, back at Lawrence, Mass. Mark Carboneau along with Ernie Sule tonight here for Channel 15. It's been a good, well-played ball game by both clubs. The Raiders coming in, stepping out of their league here for this game with the Lawrence Lancers. And I think they've shown they can play ball with a Massachusetts team. They've done a good job out there defensively, and they've mixed it up offensively too. 20-14, the Lancers lead. The Cruz, or the give is to Guzman. It's the Cruz to the Goose, and I'll tell you, they put on a show here. So Guzman with the carry. He's been the workhorse tonight for Lawrence. 1:08 left in the contest, and now they. Oh, no, I thought the Raiders, that's got to be their final timeout. The Raiders call a timeout. We'll take a break. Back at Lawrence, Mass, and Ernie, we're just discussing the MVP here. Well, I'll tell you, I think, you could give it to 3 or 4 players here. The Raiders, you give it to the whole defensive team. I think they've done a good job tonight defensively. All right, this is Cruz giving it to Guzman. I'll tell you, he's been a load to take down tonight.
Guzman on the carry, brought down by Ken Kucher.
But I think the Raiders have shown that they can play with the Massachusetts teams, and they've done a whale of a job here. They're down by 6 with 53 seconds left in the contest, and the Lancers with a 4th and 2, I'm sure they're going to go for it. The Raiders back in action in Vermont next week, next Friday night, in a big contest up at Middlebury with the Tigers. And then they'll host the Hornets the week following that. And then, of course, the Mounties to close out the regular season. I bet you Cruz takes it. Let's see. 4th and about 2. Cruz barks him out. There you go. Guzman gets the call, but I think he's going to be short, Ernie. Well, that's going to be, well, I don't know. I think it's going to be close.
Brought down by Bill Sargent.
They're going to measure here. We're going to keep it right here. Now, you talk about MVPs. I think Feinberg's done a good job tonight carrying the ball. Also, Jake Conway and Mike Stempek. Mike scoring the first touchdown for the Raiders. Defensively, yeah. Billy Moran and Buda Barajeklian all in there. And also Billy Sargent. Defensively, the Raiders have done a nice job. All right, the Raiders will take over here. They got 19 seconds to play with, though. And Dwyer will be at the helm here. Pat Dwyer, the senior quarterback. He's got Conway and Stempek in the backfield. Well, look at that prevent defense there by Lawrence. That's something you see in the NFL. They've got four deep backs. We've got a wide out on the right-hand side. Wide right. I'm not sure who it is. Chris Mayhew is normally at that position. That's, well, the pass goes to Stempek. He gets out of bounds. They had Duval lined up at the
pass complete to Stempek. Run out of bounds.
Wide right. Stempek gets the completion from Dwyer.
Second down.
So it's a 2nd down and 7. The play only gained 3 yards on the pass play. They're going to have to throw it a little bit further than that, but if they're playing a prevent defense there in that secondary. So it's 2nd down, 7 for the Raiders. 13 seconds left in the contest here from Lawrence, Mass tonight. The Raiders down by 6. Dwyer. Well, he's looking long. He's going to throw. He's got almost intercepted. He had Duval and Mayhew down there deep.
Broken up by Scholar Athlete of the Week, Edwin Alvarez.
Edwin Alvarez broke up the play for Lawrence. So with 6 seconds left in the contest, this will probably be the last play. The Raiders trail by 6, 20-14. And I'll tell you, they can walk off this field tonight feeling proud, though. They can hold their heads high because they played a good ball game. A couple of miscues. That one penalty will come back to Tahana, but other than that, I think they've represented their the city of Rutland, the state of Vermont, and Rutland High School very well. We got trips out here now. We got quads, I guess. We've got Conway and Stempek is out there. Dwyer's going to fire. He's got Mayhew wide open. And the ball goes through his hands. It's intercepted.
Intercepted by Edwin Alvarez.
And that'll do it. So the Raiders, the last play of the game, and I'll tell you, there's nothing to feel bad about. They played a whale of a ball game against this Lawrence High School team. So the final score here from Lawrence, Massachusetts, it's the Lawrence Lancers 20 and the Rutland High School Red Raiders 14.